In the early morning of October 1st, a line stretched into the parking lot of the Aurigula Family Recreation Center as attendants of the San Mateo County Foreclosure Resource Fair waited to sign into the event.
The default, the notice, of intent to foreclose, all that stuff just puts the fear of God into you. Terrible.
Jeff, like many others in San Mateo, faces losing his home. The housing crisis and economic downturn hit the county hard, with an estimated 7,000 homes in pre-foreclosure and foreclosure in 2011 alone. Kevin Stein, Associate Director of the California Reinvestment Coalition, provided the fair participants with a glimmer of hope in his opening address.
Okay, so what are some, to be a little bit more positive, what is something to be somewhat hopeful about? Well, one thing is the fact that you guys are here, and it's been shown. So there are studies now that show what we kind of knew to be the case, that people who work with a housing counselor or a legal service office, they are more likely to get a modification. And that modification, that help is more likely to be better than if you've been trying to do this on your own.
The study, conducted by the Urban Institute, indicates that struggling homeowners who receive housing counseling are 60% more likely to avoid foreclosure. They are also more likely to obtain a significant loan modification than those who attempt the process on their own. Despite the evidence, many homeowners shy away from the resources available to them.
One of the challenges is that people have such pride.
Supervisor Rose Jacobs Gibson hosted the resource fair and has dedicated her office to addressing the continuing housing crisis in San Mateo County.
And when it comes to their home, it's just so difficult to have to admit that you are faced with whatever the problem is. Shortness of income, overburdened with a lot of unexpected expenses, that seems to not happen just 1 month but several months. People don't like to talk about their money problems, but if in fact they do actually seek help, they can oftentimes get some help to assist them, tide them over until things get better.
The other obstacle is the limited collaboration between resources. The supervisor is attempting to remove this barrier. Her office recently published a foreclosure resource guide and is distributing it around the county. Recipients include city councils, banks, legal services, housing counseling agencies, alternative housing resources, and nonprofits that provide related services such as mental health counseling and food programs. The goal is to provide these agencies with a list of all the resource centers available. This way, when someone comes in seeking help that they can't provide, they know where to send them.
So it's going to be very widespread throughout the county so that anyone, many of the organizations and the banks and the cities will have this. So there will be a little bit more of assistance now that people can provide without having to try and think, and who do I call, what do I go, because it's awkward. You want to help, but you don't know exactly how. So I think that having this resource guide is going to be a tremendous help to all of us.
It is beneficial for both individuals and resource centers to understand the programs and services available to assist homeowners. Events such as the Foreclosure Resource Fair provide a platform to connect those involved in helping people deal with foreclosure. For Jeff, seeking help changed his mindset for the better.
We're pleased. We're coming out happy. We came in scared to death being in foreclosure. My wife had, psychological effect. Felt, pain, fear, etc., the potential of losing our house at some soon unknown date and unknown process. So we're coming out of it somewhat relieved. There's no immediate threat, so to speak.
This is Stephanie Soderborg reporting for the Peninsula Press, an initiative run by Stanford's Graduate Program in Journalism.